Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we're tracking for the chance for some severe weather across portions of the Midwest, back down across the Arctic region, even across portions of Dixie Alley into the Carolinas, and that will eventually be moving to the east across portions of the Mid-Atlantic in the Carolinas tomorrow as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the SPC Outlook here. As you can see here, we do have an enhanced risk for severe weather across portions of southern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, portions of central and western Tennessee, and far northern Alabama. Now, the good news is, with this setup here, it's not going to be as bad as what we've been seeing for what we saw on Thursday's event. Yeah, I believe it was Thursday. Yep, it was Thursday. On Thursday's event, and also for Wednesday's event last week, at last Wednesday's event, where we had that tornado outbreak across portions of Alabama as well. Good news is with this event, for areas that's been really hard hit, like these zones in here, this front should stay to your northwest, at least the greatest risk. Now, the severe weather risk may come in overnight, mainly in the form of damaging winds, but the tornado threat should stay pretty low for you guys down there. So they'll at least give you some time to clean up and stuff like that down there. And we could also see here we do have a slight risk for severe weather for northeastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, northern Louisiana, most of the northern half of Arkansas, southeastern Missouri, the southern half of Illinois, southwestern Indiana, central, southern, and western Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, central Mississippi, north central Alabama. Then the thing again. Um, Northern Georgia, the upstate of South Carolina, and also for Western North Carolina as well. Currently in the slight risk here, so let's take a look at your risks here. Now, your hail threat, it's going to be there for nearly everybody, but the better chance for hail is should be staying around southern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, and probably into southwestern Tennessee there, where some of those hailstones could be pretty large. So there could be a chance for 2 inches of diameter size hail, and it could be larger than that. Damaging winds will also be there. We can see the chance for some significant damaging winds across portions of Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, and also for eastern Arkansas. And here's your tornado probability. You can see here we do have a chance for possibly for some strong tornadoes. Uh, Maybe it's just at least one or two across southern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, southwestern Tennessee, and also for far northwestern Alabama as well, where we do have that chance for a strong tornado or two, where we could have some discrete supercells moving over some of these places in here that could get expanded a little further to the northeast as well, probably to include a little bit more central Tennessee, and I'll show you guys that. But let's actually first take a look to what's going on right now. So this morning we do have some severe weather across portions of southeastern Kentucky and also for eastern Tennessee here. We actually do have a severe thunderstorm warning to southwestern Virginia around Kingsport, where we do have reports of dime-sized hail. We also got another severe thunderstorm at Johnson City. We do have some reports of half-dollar-sized hail. Then we got the squall line and storms. Now keep in mind, this is not the severe weather that we're talking about here. This is just the early morning severe weather around across portions of these areas in here. And these storms will continue to move to the east here, but they should be dying down pretty soon here. But let's check out the HER model here, and you can see here how it shows that cluster thunderstorms, which seems to be way too slow here with that storm cluster here, which is not good at all uh, with that there. The, Say the convection will probably get out here a little bit faster than what the HER predicts, which just seems to be now a little bit of a bias in the model now. It's had that same issue with Thursday's event, Thursday's tornado outbreak that we had across portions of the South and the lower Hollow Valley region. It's also going to be overdone with the convection. That's also another bias with the model that I have noticed. So I don't think we'll see this many storms around. But you can see here, you can check out some of these potentially for some of these discrete supercells here. So you got one right here, you got one back here in southern Arkansas, and there could be a couple others out here that could be some discrete supercells that could produce all hazards out there. Then you're going to see this cold front kind of coming by here back across portions of Missouri and Illinois. That'll be moving to the southeast here. Now, I believe at the same time here, there's going to be this warm front right here. So we kind of put this in motion here. You can see here how some of these areas in here just continue to deal with the chance for some severe weather, and also flooding could be becoming a problem as well for some of these places here that can see thunderstorms over the same area. Now we're getting into the overnight hours. Even into the middle of the night, we still got some possibly severe thunderstorms across northern Mississippi to central Tennessee. We also got thunderstorms developing across northern Kentucky, kind of along the Ohio River as well. Here comes your cold front here, and these will be kind of interacting with each other. There could be some flooding problems in some of these zones in here. We have some moisture kind of interacting with each other. That could produce a lot of rain. Now we're kind of getting into Sunday morning. We got an organized line of showers and thunderstorms, just like similar to this morning here. Having an organized line of showers and thunderstorms. Move to the east, some of those could be strong to severe. And then that kind of moves it to tomorrow's risk, which that gets off the screen there. We'll see how the high risk data predicts this. And again, it's also a little bit too slow as well. But you can see here, it does not really show that many discrete supercells, but the Hermo also does a little bit better job with the convection here on some of these storms here, but also is overdone with the convection. And the hurricane has not been doing too hot with the convection of how these storms have been going, so I'll probably take this as a grain of salt here. It does not really show many discrete cells out there, but it does show some storms in linear mode out here, which can produce damaging winds and possibly some hail, and maybe you could still get a tornado threat, at least a QLCS tornado threat along that squall line. That'd be moving to the east here, eventually getting to the Carolinas there, even for portions of the southeast and to Georgia as well. And we'll go back to the HER model here, and I'm going to show you guys what's kind of unusual here. So kind of like the unusual part here that I see here. So as we kind of get into later tonight here, we're going to have a decent amount of cape around. Now this is going to take a while to load here. Now I don't know why it stopped. But you're going to see a lot of this cape numbers start to surge to the northeast here. You also should start to see numbers increase across portions of Illinois and Missouri. And you can see here, the part that's going to be kind of unusual here, actually, when you kind of get into the middle of the night here, check out some of these mixed layer cape numbers. You're still at 2,000 joules per kilogram of cape in the middle of the night. That's the kind of the unusual part. This is something you do not see that often here overnight. So that's why your severe weather threat will be continuing pretty much all night long across for some of these places in here. I mean, check out portions of Illinois here. I'm in Indiana. You still got places getting 1,000 joules per kilogram of cape, which is favorable for severe weather. Now, it doesn't really look like a good sounding or anything like that, but there's still a decent amount of cape around that area here. Let's go to this area here down across southern Tennessee. You can see here, that's a pretty good sounding here, especially for overnight. You got a decent amount of storm rate to Felicity, you got some wind shear, you got a decent amount of cape. There's also going to be a decent amount of lap rates out there as well, especially in the evening hours. There's going to be quite a bit of lap rates in there, which will be favorable for some large hail. And also will be helping these storms here kind of build up and kind of sustain as well. We also got a decent hodograph here, so this is favorable for all hazards here into the overnight hours. You can see here, then it finally starts to go away early Sunday morning as well. And we'll take a look to the storm rate to Felicity numbers here. It's probably going to take a moment to load here. We'll actually take a look into the high-risk dam as well with the mixed layer cape here. Hopefully it doesn't take long. And this just kind of shows you an example how bad my internet is, and that's why I cannot really do live streams. It's because of internet's this bad. And right now I'm the only one using the internet, and I'm getting this bad. It's not good. It's not good. My internet speed's not good. But check out this mixed layer cape here by the high-res NAM here. You can see here, it's got some cape numbers as high as 3,000 joules per kilogram, which is pretty high for this time of year. And actually, again, in the middle of the night, you got cape numbers not as high as 2,000 joules per kilogram cape, but still at least 1,000 joules per kilogram cape overnight is quite unusual here. So you don't see often here, especially a little further north where you kind of have these blue spots here that indicates there is a cape of at least 1,000 joules per kilogram of cape there, at least in the mix layer. So again, southern Tennessee here has a little better holograph than what the Herbal shows. It's also got some better storage to Felicity numbers. And of course, since we're getting into the early morning hours, the lap rates are not going to be that good either. But overall, it's still a pretty decent sounding nevertheless there. If we kind of go back here, I mean, for some places here, this is past midnight here. Oh wow, check out, I believe that was Western Mississippi here. You got good amount of storage to Felicity, decent amount of wind shear, good amount of cape. The lap rates are pretty good as well. You got a pretty good holograph, so this is favorable again for all hazards, even for the possibility for a stroke tornado in there. And I think that's going to be getting a little lower in, but we'll find out as we kind of take a look into the significant tornado parameters. But you can see here, your storm rate to Felicity numbers do increase overnight. That's pretty normal here. It typically over 150 here, that'd be favorable for severe weather. And you can see here, we got that already, basically. And we'll switch that over to significant tornado parameters. Then we'll switch this one over to storm related Felicity here. And show you guys here what the storm related Felicity here. So what this thing here is, it kind of gives us an indication of the tornado threat here, of how much Felicity these storms do have here. And you can see here, kind of in the middle of the night here, you got a good amount of storm relative Felicity in here, in a lot of these places in here. And you can see here, at least again, at least 150. You do have, it's favorable for some severe weather, and we do have that already. That was the wrong one there. Significant tornado parameters. We'll check out the HER model with the significant tornado parameters, and then again, at least a 1 is favorable for a tornado threat. Then at least a 2 is a chance for the possibility for a strong tornado. And like I said a couple times here before, the models are going to be a little bit overdone with these significant tornado parameters. You can see here, we do have some pretty decent numbers out there here, but it's not like a major, like, widespread like we've been seeing here, like a huge blob or 8 plus significant tornado parameter numbers. It's just kind of a little bit isolated, scattered in here. So you may have to chance for maybe isolated strong tornadoes in here. Now that's a little bit cherry picked in there. You can see here, yeah, I would not really say if that's favorable for a strong tornado or not, but still a decent photograph there. Well, not really. Didn't have any storm related to Felicity there. So Also, the strong trade for will stay a little bit low, and we may just at least see one. But take a look at these 70 soundings here. They're not honestly not that great within some of these places in here. But either way, there's still a tornado threat across some of these places in here. And it seems like the most favorable time frame may be in the middle of the night here. Across southern Tennessee here, at least indicated by a couple of these models here. Go a little further south, and you can see there, that's a pretty good photograph there. Pretty much all the ingredients are placed for, at least for a tornado threat, and maybe a strong one in there as well. But again, we'll see what happens overnight tonight. And we'll check out the highest NAM here. You can see here, pretty much the same results here as the HER model. Again, not ridiculously high numbers out here, but kind of along that boundary there would be the area to watch for the chance for tornadoes and possibly one or two that could be strong as well. So again, that's just going to be something to watch here very closely there. So let's move on to day two, which is tomorrow here. So again, like I said, your severe weather risk moves to the east. You got a large slight risk area across northern Georgia, eastern Tennessee, eastern West Virginia, um, northern South Carolina, most of North Carolina, Virginia, most of Maryland, into southern Delaware as well. The hail threat's not going to be too big of a deal, but winds will be one of your primary threats. And like I said, well, I don't know if I said that yet or not, but anyways, with that hatch area, what that means, that's the chance for some significant winds. That's at least 35 miles an hour or greater, so there could be some decently strong winds out there. And the tornado threat is there. That's a 5% chance here where we have a good load of a jet across those areas in there, so that'd be good for your tornado threat, at least your QLCS tornado threat. And then after that day, no severe weather expected. So let's move our zone here, our area, to the mid-Atlantic here. And we'll check out the reflectivity here. Again, it's going to take a moment to load here. Hopefully everyone has a good day, though. I'm having a good day right now. So yeah, hopefully everybody has a good day. But let's check out the HER model here. And you can see here, it seems like that squall line, that was back across Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama, even to portions of Georgia, just pretty much just dies out, and it looks like a new line of storms along that front there may develop there. And we could possibly see an organized line of showers and thunderstorms moving quickly to the east as well. And checking out the NAM. And check out its reflectivity here. We'll probably just only go ahead and just only look into the significant tornado parameters because most of your ingredients will be in place for severe weather as well. We could see an enhanced risk upgrade, but I think that's mainly going to be for damage winds. I don't think we're going to see an upgrade for the tornado probability and the hail probability. But you can see here by the high-risk NAM, you do have a couple blink segments here and there, which can produce some damage and winds. And that's kind of all I can see there. And you can see here, some severe storms may continue back down across portions of South Carolina and Georgia as well. We'll watch these areas here pretty closely here for Sunday as well. And again, like I said, we'll take a look at significant tornado parameters, see how favorable the environment is for tornadoes. And again, numbers are likely going to be overdone here, at least for some of these places in here. We'll take a look into it. And you can see here, it's not that bad either. And you can see here, it does indicate possibly a strong tornado threat in a couple places. But I think the strong tornado threat is not really going to be there for this setup here. Just given by the significant tornado parameters, it's not really that high for some of these places here. But again, if you're still between like a 1 and 2, you still have a tornado threat. But for some of these places do have a little over a 2. There may be an isolated strong tornado threat, but overall, I think the strong tornado threat will stay low for this event. And we'll quickly take a look at the HER model as well with the significant tornado parameters. And again, most of the other gradients will be in place for some severe weather across these areas in here, especially for damaging winds as well. And actually, the HER model does show much higher significant tornado parameters, so there's some uncertainties there with the significant tornado parameters, but overall, I think there's going to be the chance for some QLCS tornadoes out there, and there could be at least an isolated strong tornado maybe get mixed in, which is EF2 or higher. So there could be a strong tornado out there somewhere, but overall, I think that the primary threat would be damaging winds would probably be your primary threat, and there could be a couple tornadoes. One of those could be strong, and there could be some little bit of hail with some of those storms as well. So that's it for the severe weather side of things. I want to quickly take a look at after Saturday and Sunday. Let's look beyond that. We haven't really talked about long range forecasting in a long time. Looks like there could be a very strong system up across the central and northern plains by Monday. Could be a widespread high wind event. Then you're going to see this cold front here come by here. This is going to bring in a pretty cold shot of cold air. So this is 5 o'clock in the morning. You can see here some of these temperatures here are pretty cold. Look at Denver, Colorado, 19 degrees. Idaho Falls, 26. Salt Lake City, 26 degrees. I mean, Bismarck, 19 degrees. Fargo, 17. So there's going to be another little bit of an Arctic blast here. Just a little bit of an Arctic blast. At least for springtime it is. But you can see here for highs, for like at 4 o'clock, most temperatures should be staying in the 40s across pretty much most of the United States here. 40s, and there could be a couple 30s in there. But check out the East Coast here, especially when you get to Wednesday night. There's actually a snow chance for portions of the Northeast. And check out the snow chance for as far south as the Smoky Mountains. Yeah, the Smoky Mountains have a chance for snow Wednesday night. Doesn't happen too often. But if you look at the GFS, it's basically the same thing here. So there may be a chance for some snowflakes getting close to April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day, Thursday. Malls indicate for the chance for a few snowflakes. Kind of mess that up a little bit. But pretty much kind of up along the Appalachian Mountains here. Has a chance to see some snow up in those higher elevations up there. So that's quite interesting there. And some snow may continue up across the Northeast, and Moss may indicate a winter storm up there, which we haven't really talked about a winter storm in a while. And then your Arctic high, or your cold high, wherever you want to call it, or high pressure, should control the United States, at least most of the eastern United States, throughout the rest of next week here as well. You can see your GFS and European model are very similar. So this is the SPC Outlook here for the 6 to 10 days. So this is basically April Fool's Day into April 5th. We do have a chance for below average temperatures across the deep south, up into portions of the mid-Atlantic, even for the northwest coast, above normal temperatures across the northern plains, central plains, and most of the Rockies as well. And then when you look at the 8 to 14 day temperatures, that warmer air starts to move to the east there. So it's not going to last long for the eastern United States. It's not really going to last long. We should rebound the temperatures probably at some point next weekend as well. So again, those temperatures, those cold temperatures should not really stick around long. But the western United States do looks like they could go back to below average temperatures maybe next weekend along the western United States. Even for around portions of Florida, a little bit cooler than normal as well. I know it really gets very warm down there, so the temperatures will be pretty nice down across Florida at least here for later next week. But anyways, guys, there's all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you really like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put a comment section down below. I'll read you guys' questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.